And one final point for me to finish on as well. Since losing to Shrewsbury on the 23rd of November, we've played 31 league games, won 24, drawn 6 and lost just 1 against Bolton.
It's crazy.
And that shows you why we are where we are, why we've dominated this league, and why we deserve to be promoted. So, looking forward to the last game now, and hopefully getting those final 3 points, and then really set a record that's going to be so hard to beat.
So welcome back to BCFC Royal Blue. And we did it, Blues fans. We finally set the official new EFL points record on 108. But of course, there's one game left, so we could make that 111. And it happened away at Blackpool with Blackpool 0, Birmingham City 2. And a fantastic result and a fairly dominant performance. So, Dad, what were your thoughts on the game?
Well, brilliant. But before we get into that, I just want to do a quick plug, really, for the Birmingham City women's team. A few people have commented that, asked us and other podcasters as well to mention this. And it's a big, big game for our ladies' team. If they win at St.Andrews on Sunday, then they're promoted to the WSL. They're playing London City Lionesses, who are the team just above them. So it has to be a win. So a draw or a loss won't be good enough. And I think everybody's trying to get as many people down there as possible. We're trying our best to get down there. It looks like we'll be there. But the tickets are selling really, really fast, and the club have put a lot of initiatives on for season ticket holders to get tickets. So go to the Blues website, go to the app, have a look and get your tickets, and let's support those Birmingham City ladies and get them through the match and get them to the WSL, just like we supported the men. So I just wanted to mention that first. Okay.
I think it's a good shout, Dave, because we're Birmingham City as a club, aren't we? It's not just always about the men. And the women have the chance to get back and promoted into the top tier. So really fantastic opportunity to show our support. And I think with the COP being open, it'll be a similar vibe to some of the virtue games this season, like the Fulham under-21s and the Walsall game. It'll be that COP on both tiers, hopefully full. Making some noise and getting those women over the line. Yeah,
well, I noticed this morning they've opened up the two of the blocks on the upper COP, so virtually the lower COP is virtually sold out, all the way from the Gilmerrick to the Tilton. So it's good. So it looks like it's going to be a good crowd there. So I sort of give that a bit of a plug. Onto the game against Blackpool. I mean, what a great performance. I mean, the way and the style and the play of football, particularly in that first half, was absolutely amazing. I mean, that is a type of style of football I want to see from us moving forward. Quick tempo, one-touch football, and Blackpool just didn't know what to do with us, and it was a well-deserved victory. And I was watching that game as well and reflecting on it just this morning. I'm thinking, we didn't really even get out of second gear, really. I mean, we played some great stuff, but we could have really put them to the sword if we wanted to. But great performance. Well-deserved victory. As you said, we've broken the points record now of 108. We can break another record on Sunday, because if we beat Cambridge away, we'll beat the record for the most wins in the season, which has been held by Doncaster. I think it goes back to the 1940s. Wow. So it's even older than me. So what a fabulous season. What a great performance that was.
Well, it's funny, though, because obviously we lost the Virtue Trophy final. I get that. This isn't sour grapes whatsoever. But isn't that a much longer, better legacy to have? The fact we've smashed the EFL points record. We have a chance to do it on 111 if we beat Cambridge. Yeah. And they say we might set the record for the most amount of wins. I'll take that any day of the week. You know?
Me too as well. What I find really funny as well, when you look on social media, and we always do that because we've got a podcast, we always gauge the opinion on it. There's so much jealousy out there.
From the fans, it's crazy.
It really is, and we should, we spent, and it's really funny as well because they haven't got a clue how much we spent. We haven't even got a clue how much we spent, but apparently they know how much we spent, and we spent all these billions and billions and billions of pounds. It's absolutely hilarious. And at the end of the day, I read it and I really don't care. I really honestly don't care. We had all these years of turmoil at this club for at least for the last 15 years since we got relegated from the Premier League, and other fans don't understand that. They don't know what we've been through, and this is such a wonderful way to respond to relegation from the Championship.
I think I've said this on the podcast a few times. The one thing that really annoys me about the financial argument, and I get it, we spent a lot of money on Jay Stansfield, Clara was expensive, Williamson was expensive, but we sold the best part of 10 to 15 million worth of players. Jordan James, we got a really good fee. Pritchard, Miyoshi, Bakuna, Dembele. We sold a lot of players for decent fees. We made our own revenue.
But other fans don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear it.
Of course they don't. But I'm just making a point. Is actually we sold a good amount of players for a good amount of money. Yeah. And fair enough. I know I think the whole Jay Stansfield thing has blown this all out of proportion because of the fee that costs. And I do. It's not that I get it, but if you're an opposition fan and you see 15 million on a club in League One, that is an outrageous amount of money.
It is,
but
it is, Matt. But do you think, right? And again, any of the fans that are obviously doing all these sort of negative, comments to us, they would swap our position with theirs in a heartbeat.
Of course they would.
They really would. It's just jealousy, and it's nice for us to be in this position for a change. And and at the end of the day, it isn't just about the money, is it? Because it's not easy assembling, no matter how much you spend, it's not easy. And we've said this loads of times, assembling a squad and getting them to play together the way that they are, and with a brand new manager as well. So people just don't even think about that. But that's their opinions. That's up to them. All we'll do, we'll just move on.
Full credit to Chris Davis on that as well, Dad. And Knighthead and Wagner, of course. But the footballing on the pitch, Chris Davis deserves all the credit in the world. And I'm so glad he got manager of the season because... You're right, and you bang this drum a lot. That is a completely new set of players he's had to get to gel.
Yeah.
And I know at the start of the season we were noticing, clicks weren't really happening and we had to transition as a team. But when we found our flow, I think we really properly found it, Exeter away, when he moved Bielek to right back.
Yeah.
That was the moment we went on that mad tear. We barely conceded a goal for nearly 2 months. I think we conceded, 4 goals or 3 goals in 2 months or something silly.
It was ridiculous. Yeah.
And that's when we sort of found it. But up until that point, we noticed we needed to gel a bit more. The flow needed to happen. And then since that point, for me, I think we've just been outstanding. Full credit to Chris Davis, but I realise we're going off tangent a little bit. Let's get back into the game.
I think it's important because it's a significant milestone that Birmingham City have achieved by breaking the EFL points record. And it needs recognition. And even though other fans will discard it, it's still going to be there. It's still going to be in history. And it's a very big achievement for the club, for the players, for the manager, for everybody associated with Birmingham City. It's massive.
I love the comments, Dad. So obviously the Sky Sports post about EFL record being broken. Other channels comment about it, and then a lot of the comments are, a true fairy tale, not a penny spent, and all these comments about
snarky comments.
But it just makes me laugh. And
one final thing before we get into the game as well, Matt. I think as well you have to give credit to the character of the players, because we've had these players that have come down to play in League One. And you could have easily bought players with egos and players that big time Charlies. But not only have we got good, skillful, technical players with all ability, we've also got players with the right character that want to play for the club, want to play for each other, and that's made a massive difference as well. And that going forward is going to be a massive plus for us going into the Championship with that. Team spirit and everything that we've got is absolutely fantastic.
Credit to the recruitment team, Dad.
Yeah,
because they don't just look at money and a player's skill. They look at temperament. They look at leadership. They look at various things. And I think they've borderline got most transfers correct this in the summer. Previously gone, it's a proper team of warriors. They have each other's back. They have that team spirit and. Yeah, and again, it's only going to get better this summer as we move into the Championship.
It really is, and it's really exciting, isn't it? So let's have a quick look at this game. That's what we're here for. A very quick look at the game. So there were a small number of changes to the starting lineup. So and I was glad to see Mark Leonard got a start. He was in the starting lineup, and so was Alfie May brought back in, and on the bench were Paik and Stansfield. I noticed as well that Hansen was back on the bench as well.
Yeah.
So he's obviously coming back from injury. There's only one game. We might see a little bit of him maybe in the last game, and Dukey dropped out of the squad for that. Although he was at the game because I saw him there as well. So that's fantastic. And again, I think that first half, in my opinion, was one of the best first halves that I've seen a Blues team play for many years in terms of the dominance, the play, the chances, and the control. It had it all really. It
was quite silky at times, wasn't it? Again, little flicks, little 1-2s, little passages through the channels, and I think that's what I'm really happy with at the minute, Dad. We use the word direct, and I know it gets a bad rap that word, but what we mean by direct is being forward, not side.
Yeah.
That when it comes to Blues, that's what we mean by being direct. And these past few games, since the final really, and the game after that, we've started to be a bit more creative with our forward play.
Yeah.
We've started to be a bit more adventurous, more courage on the ball, and I'm really happy. I mean, the football we're playing at times is outstanding, and I think that was one of the best sort of first 70 minutes of a game I've seen for a very, very long time, because it was the first half and into the second half. And then, of course, the home team, Blackpool, they're going to put a bit of pressure on towards the end of the game. I think they had a few chances, sort of 70 minutes to the end a little bit, but nothing dangerous. I was
disappointed with them.
No,
do you think that was because we were that good?
I think it was a combination of us with being really good and them having nothing to play for and kind of giving up a little bit on the season, I think. There was a combination of both worlds there coming together. But what really made me laugh at half time is so Blues always post half time scores and stuff, and obviously we 1-0 up at half time, and a Blackpool fan commented on it. He said, let me just get it right. He said, "Any chance you could give us the ball, boys? It's getting really boring." So I think the Blackpool fans were genuinely thinking, well, when are we even going to get the ball? We were that dominant in the first half.
Well, we saw them at St.Andrews.
That was a different team, that was.
Yeah, that's what I put that. I can't believe that's the same team. And if I was a Blackpool fan watching that, and this is about us, not them, but if I was a Blackpool fan, I'd be worried in terms of next season. I know they're going to obviously have to change a lot of players, but it's the end of the season. They can't get promoted, they can't get relegated. Why not just have a go? They didn't do anything. They had a few little opportunities. The first one came Clara again, wasn't it? I think that's when CJ Hamilton went through and Clara sort of tackled him. It pinged to Albie Moore, who had a shot, and that's the one where it deflected slightly, and Allsop had to adjust. And then Clara cleared the
great defending
again. Clara's it again. He's amazing, isn't he?
Brickwall, he's solid. I mean, we're not going to let this go off on a tangent, Dad, I promise. But how was he not nominated for the team of the season?
He was in the EFL League One team of the season, but he weren't nominated for player.
That's right. Sorry, the player of the season. Obviously, he went to Richard Kone, and again, I'm not begrudging him at all. I'm just saying, as if he wasn't even nominated, Clara.
I know,
absolutely mental. He is, as you said, Dad, rightly so, Championship sort of Premier League level, Clara. So,
and again, on the same topic, how did Allsop not get the goalkeeper of the season? He's got the most clean sheets. He's won the Golden Gloves. And I know I'm not saying that Sam Tickle's not a good goalkeeper, because he is, and people would argue that Sam Tickle's done a better job because he's more of a struggling team, but that's irrelevant. I mean, Allsop has kept the most clean sheets, therefore. Why isn't he?
I mean, again, Dad, as an acknowledgement, Sam Tickle has kept, I think it was 14 clean sheets in that Wigan team. Don't get me wrong, that is impressive of itself. But how can you not give it to the keeper that wins the Golden Gloves? It just doesn't seem right to add up, does it? But
I suppose I suppose everybody get miffed if, like, the team of the year was 11 Blues players.
Yeah, true.
So I suppose they got to bring other people.
I get it. But what I would say, Dad, is obviously with that chance that they got, because we were so dominant for 10 minutes, and again it was just that moment, wasn't it? Where he goes, if you have a little lapse in concentration, again teams can sort of get those little few chances. I mean, I
think that's going to happen now.
That literally was all it was from Blackpool in the first half. We were dominant for the first 10 minutes. They had that one chance, and then we went into cruise control again. Yeah. So, again, I'm not blowing it out of proportion. I am just making a point, though, that we need to be switched on. And the commentator, the game I was watching, Dad, the commentator made a point, and he was saying that all season, Blues are a team that get on the ball. We like our midfield to control the ball. We pass through the midfield. But teams against Blues, they completely bypass the midfield. Yeah. And we saw this with Blackpool. Whenever they did get on the ball for those small moments they didn't have an outlet because they tried to bypass our midfield, but we were just mopping everything up. Everything was just like a straight there, straight back, straight there, straight back. They had no outlet. But the point was they were trying to bypass our midfield, and we've seen this all season. And this is one of the reasons why I'm looking forward to playing Championship football again, is because we'll have a midfield battle going on, not just this lump and not lump and hope. That seems a bit unfair, but it is that direct approach that does catch us out sometimes. But apart from that, Dad, we went completely into cruise control again, didn't we? After that sort of initial chance,
it was cruise control, and I think that's fair to say. I think that's a fair comment. Williamson had a good chance, created himself. He looked okay again, didn't he, Williamson?
Yeah.
Since we got on the ball, he made a chance for himself, didn't he? So he got the ball, sort of turned, and he just made himself a bit of space. It was a really good shot, actually. Yeah. Good save by the goalkeeper, actually, to knock it out for a corner. Laird, after that, he had another. This before his goal, he cut inside from the right, and a really powerful shot, which again was saved by the goalkeeper.
And there was one chance that I'm sure you're going to come to it. I'm sure you got it noted down, but it was about 20 minutes, and it was a really silky move down our left hand side. Williamson boots it out to Laird on the right, and then he just cuts it across, and no one was home. But the move to build up to that to Laird on the right was fantastic. And I thought our right-hand side again was very dangerous last night. I thought Laird had a fantastic game. Just endless amounts of trouble for them. He got a lot on the ball. I mean, again, if I'm just being nitpicky, that final delivery could just be that little bit sharper. But Laird, since the Wigan game away this season, has been phenomenal. Yeah. He has been, of course, every player has the odd little moment in a game where they might go a little bit quiet. But overall, since that, for me, that Wigan away game in January, Laird has been outstanding. And he continued it last night.
Yeah, and I think it's wrong to call him a right back because he's never there.
No, he's a right wing forward, isn't he?
Yeah, but I think he's absolutely fantastic. I think so. So we always knew that he was a good player, but I think Chris Davis has actually made him into the player that.
Also, you have to play to the player's strengths. And I know Laird is traditionally a right back, but we all know his attacking threat is more beneficial to the team than his defensive threat. And I know he is a good defender. He can put a challenge in. He's quick as well. But let's call it what it is. Laird gives you another dynamic route up the top half of the pitch as a right wing forward,
which actually brings us nicely onto the goal. Really, I mean, we tried this a little bit early. We had a corner with Leonard, good.
Yeah,
I think they've been practicing corners. I mean, they've been obviously doing it in training. But we did it earlier where Leonard did the same thing, corner from the same side, pinged it past the far post. I think it was just cleared in that instance by the Blackpool defender. But this one was, we don't score many goals. We talked about this before. We started to seem to be getting better at set pieces, but this was literally a simple, and I think even Chris Davis mentioned this when he had his post-match interview, literally corner, header.
Okay, and take nothing away from Blues here, but Steve Bruce must be fuming with that. A completely free player at the back post.
Well, on the basis, we'd give them a blueprint earlier about what we were going to do, because we'd done exactly the same, but they cleared that one. But this ball was slightly further. And again, we call Laird because he's not the tallest player. We call him the mountain guy because he just gets up, doesn't he? And
he wins he wins. I haven't got the stat. I don't know whether this is accurate, but to me, he wins 95% of his aerial battles, and for his height. Yeah. It's astounding. Yeah. At the back post, had really good little header in, good finish. And every time Laird scores, it just fills me with joy because he's just a happy chappy, isn't he? Like, he did that silly dance after he scored.
Yeah, I'm not convinced about that, to be honest. But I suppose better than Crouchy's robotics and stuff like that he used to do. But that was 1-0 and well deserved as well, because I thought we were edging towards half time as maybe as a 0-0, which we've done loads of times before. Yeah. But even then, I wasn't worried. I thought if we keep playing like that, we're gonna win this game. We were far better than that. So that was half time 1-0.
Yeah, and I just want to focus on it. Obviously, Chris Davis has got quite a lot of credit on this podcast, and rightly so. And again, I've been monitoring. Sounds like a weird word, but like I do look over quite a lot at Chris Davis when we're at home at St.Andrews. And again, we couldn't make it last night just to stretch too far on a Wednesday evening this week, but. On the telly, when the camera does zone in on Chris Davis and you see him at St.Andrews, his passion and his desire and his communication to the team, it's always demanding the highest standards. He's always barking at the team. But, again, it's just that manager who takes control, knows what he wants. But yeah, exactly. I love that. But sometimes that sort of stuff flies under the radar. But honestly, guys, watch Chris Davis on the side. He's phenomenal. He really does get amongst it.
Every team wants a manager who looks like they care and are passionate, and that's why Chris Davis has got so many yellow cards himself, because he's obviously given the fourth official.
He served 2 touchline bans this year, hasn't he?
Yeah. I mean, nothing to be proud of, but it shows you his passion. We need him on the sideline. When I say nothing to be proud of, I'm not criticising him. I'm just saying it. I think didn't he get a yellow card at Wembley as well?
Yes,
and that's why he got banned. He got banned for the Burton and the Crawley game, didn't he? Or was it? Well, two games.
Tell you what, Dad, if you were going to get a yellow card, the right game to do it was the Wembley game. But anyway, we've moved on past that. But I mean, I think that just shows his desire and his passion and his hunger to win, isn't it?
Exactly. That's exactly the manager I'd want. I don't want a manager that just stands there with their hands in their pockets and just the odd mumble like managers we've had in the past, not to name any. But then we go on to the second half. We score really early in the second half, and again. It was all top again, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Ball over the top.
Quick thinking.
Ball pinged and was won through. I mean, obviously, it was 2-on-1 with their defender at that point.
Yeah.
And Keshi had the foresight. And Alfie, mate, that's where he's in his best position in that number 9.
Yeah.
And when you knew the ball went to him, even though the defenders were coming back, you knew he weren't going to miss.
You knew he was going in. Yeah. That is bread and butter Alfie May, isn't it? And fair play to Keshi Anderson, because I thought he might have took another touch and belt that himself. But he saw his teammate. He took the less selfish route, and it's a shame, obviously, because it would have went down as a Keshi Anderson assist because he passed it. But it's a shame Allsop didn't get any kind of credit for that initial ball, I guess. Yeah. But again, Allsop's been doing that all season, fantastic. And what I liked about it, Dad, is fair enough. A couple of players went to Alfie May to celebrate and congratulate, but the majority of them went to Allsop. Just to congratulate him on that. Secondary assist.
It was part of the move. It was part of the move. It's what made the goal.
Exactly. And if quick thinking, good delivery. It was a mistake by the Blackpool defender, kind of slipped up after the initial ball. But again, take nothing away from Blues. Great goal, and Alfie May, bread and butter stuff. He puts that away 9 times out of 10, don't he?
He does, and when it's 2-0, we know that the game's won by that point because we're not going to. Well, the chances of the way that they were playing, the way we were playing, the chances are there. I mean, anything can happen in football, but you just felt that was it when that second goal.
I think the fact that we scored on 51 minutes in the second half, and we haven't got much to talk about in the second half from that point. Really, I know Blackpool had a couple of chances in there. I think it shows a compliment to Blues in that we just have got really good at seeing games out as well.
Yeah.
No real threats from Blackpool. Okay, they had a 10-minute spell from about 70 minutes to 80 where they put the pressure on a little bit, but
they're going to now.
Exactly, home team, 2-0 down.
And what does Chris Davis do? He brings on Handley.
Yeah, but second half, Dad, I thought we saw it out really well. We controlled the game again, and overall, Dad, I think that was a really, really impressive performance. And on we move to Cambridge, where hopefully we can bag it and get the 111.
Yeah, but I just want to talk about one more chance that we had, which was really when Stano came on. He burst into the box. It was a really weird thing because I thought it was going in, but he burst. He got past his player, burst into the box, and he crossed it. Now Paik was running under. Paik just about made contact with it. It pinged off a Blackpool defender. Then it pinged into the face of Alfie May and went about that far past the post. Then you think, oh, that's unlucky, But again, what a great against Stano as well. He comes on and the energy he gives you is absolutely staggering.
It's phenomenal.
Imagine the Blackpool fans. We're 2-0 up and cruising, and suddenly they look at the bench, and then suddenly Stansfield's on the side waiting to come on, and other players as well. It shows you how strong our squad is. And
to be fair, Dad, what epitomises Stansfield is not that chance, not the energy, but he got into a little bit of a scrap with the right back, I think it was, and it was just them two falling over each other. But he never gave up. He kept going.
Yeah.
Sorry, excuse me. He kept battling. And when I saw that clip, when I was watching the game, and I saw that, I was like, that just epitomises Stansfield. Don't underestimate his ability to get stuck in and chase after chances that he shouldn't be getting and turning them into opportunities. He is a phenomenal player, and I can't wait for next season when I think he's going to come to light in the Championship.
Yeah, well, we've seen what we can do in a what was a poor Blues team when we got relegated, and what's he going to do in this team? One final shout out for the Blues away fans. I mean, we could hear you all through the game.
Great, wasn't it?
And a little tip to wherever you put your microphones. This is TV. Don't put them by the Blues fans because we heard some pretty colourful things, which some of it was hilarious. But yeah, well done to the Blues away fans, and plenty of noise. Got right behind the team, and actually felt like that there wasn't any Blackpool fans, and there wasn't many Blackpool fans there, to be fair. But well done to the Blues fans.
Also, Dad, on a Wednesday evening, Blackpool, that's a long way to go when the season's wrapped up. So fair play to every Blues fan that made it. I mean, I think we would have been there. It was just obviously family commitments and stuff like that. We do go to a fair amount of midweek games as well now, but. Yeah, a bit of a stretch too far. Fair play to everyone that went. Fantastic support, and I wouldn't expect anything less from this club now, Dad. Away support's always been fantastic, and to hear the noise on the telly is just brilliant.
Oh, it's brilliant.
It makes me want to be there when I hear it.
Exactly, and one final point for me to finish on as well. Since losing to Shrewsbury on the 23rd of November, we've played 31 league games, won 24, drawn 6, and lost just 1 against Bolton.
That's crazy.
And that shows you why we are where we are, why we've dominated this league, and why we deserve to be promoted. So, looking forward to the last game now, and hopefully getting those final 3 points, and then really set a record that's going to be so hard to beat.
Well said. Well said. I think that's a perfect way to end it, Dad. So, as always, Birmingham City supporters, we'd love to hear from you. Please let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Maybe you're a Blackpool supporter. Maybe you watched the pre-video. Maybe you tune in for the first time. Please let us know your thoughts on the game as well. If you like this video specifically, please don't forget to give us a thumbs up. And check us out on our social media channels. We have an X page, we have an Instagram page, and we're also on Spotify as well. So you can listen to us or watch us as well on that platform, if you'd prefer. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and press that bell notification so you get notified every time we post a video. And myself and Dad will see you on the next one, all about Birmingham City.